Welcome to Game Talk, the first of many low budget shows to come. I am your host, Jesse, and I know a lot of you guys are wondering what is Game Talk? Game Talk is where I come out and give my opinions or thoughts throughout the gaming community. It's mostly based on video games or decisions companies have made that has buzzed the gaming community. And I'm talking about you, Capcom. And that's a different show to talk about in the future episode. So, the reason I'm making Game Talk is because I have seen a lot of top 10 most wanted Super Smash Bros. Characters. And some of the list is awesome, some of the list is lame, some of the lists are just right down stupid. So, because of that, it encouraged me to make this video. And many more other videos to come. And I'm gonna talk about Super Smash Bros. 4, and that is that damn it. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here, and I'm gonna just step out of line. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time because I do stubborn. I sometimes my sentence don't make sense, and it's hard for me to get my sentence out right away. So I do apologize. This is a low budget show, and I hope to get proper equipment and more time doing this. This show, I hope I get a lot more better, and I have less problems and issues in the future episodes. So back to the main story, to the main topic in this Super Smash Bros. 4, and what I'm going to talk about is the game itself, and then the characters later on. And I hope you guys agree with my opinions and ideas, and if not, then that's okay. You know, everybody's entitled to an opinion. And the first thing I want to talk about, and it's not a big deal, is the story mode. I would like to see a much better story mode. The reason I want to see a better story mode is to have it more have it more complex. Because in Brawl it wasn't that competitive, it was just from point A to point B, and the main idea was the heroes and villains team up to take on the main boss. That sounded kind of lame to me. I wish it was more, like I said, more complete, but I want it to be unique in a way where anybody can pick up the story and understand what's going on. What I would like to see in the story mode is have different universes instead of different stages or levels throughout the map. Let's have the Mushroom Kingdom, Hyrule's, Metroid Primes, Kid Icarus levels, universes, and just have them jump in from universe to universe. And then inside the universe, you find little Easter eggs or information about the game, about the characters of the game, the history about the games. So that way the younger audience, the next generation of gamers, can understand where these characters in these games are coming from. Because I believe if it wasn't for the old school games, the 8-bit era of video games, we wouldn't be having a lot of these awesome games like Call of Duty, Halo 4, Gears of War, and they need to know and understand where these, why video games are so popular. It's because of the old school games. So, next thing we're moving on is different modes, the different game styles, different categories of game, the Smash Bros. Game needs to have. I do like the home run contest, break the target, multi-man melee, and the boss modes. They're pretty awesome. They're pretty cool. And just after a while, it gets kind of boring. I want some game modes to come out and make them unique and fun, and you don't get tired after playing them for a while. I would like to see a time attack mode and survival mode in this list. I know survival mode is multi-man cruelty, multi-man melee, I know that's what survival is, but I want it to be unique. Not just, I don't want to fight the whatever the hell you call them, the multi-mans. I want it to be like, want it to be, how can I say it? I want it to be unique. Each match is different from the last. It's not just knock your opponent out. Sometimes, knock your opponent out and then the new one shows up right away. No, I want it to be you take a break in the first one and then you continue on the next one. And each match is different, You don't just fight in the same platform. And I know it sounds a lot like All-Star mode, but that's All-Star. That's where you fight all the characters. I want it to be where you combine it like I want it to be like All Stars and Survival mode, Ultimate Melee combined together. So you're always fighting all the 25, 30, 40 Nintendo Smash Brothers characters over and over again, and you keep going and going and going, and it doesn't get difficult until you get like past round 5, past round 10. I wanted that. Yeah, that's how I want the game to be. In time mode, I want it to be unique, where how fast can you eliminate certain characters, or how long does it take to get eliminated. And I know that sounds like melee, damn it, I can never pronounce, but it sounds like the survival mode on their version of survival mode. The 10 minutes, 3 minutes, 15 minutes, it's cool, endless, all that. But I want it to be better, I want it to be better. If you guys can come up with something better, a different game mode, let me know in the comments below, or make a video response. Now that we got that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is the online abilities for the game. But before we do that, I want to just get off topic a little bit and talk about what I like to see when the game comes out and the price for the game. I wish the game is not $60, and I wish they do a bundle pack, like PlayStation All Stars. But at the same time, there might be people that just don't want the bundle pack and just might want to buy one version of the game, depending on what they have, Wii U or the 3DS. And I hope it's not $60. Like I said, I hope it's not $60. I hope it's like 30 or less, or 40 or less. But it has to be $60. It better be the Wii U version, not the 3DS. But I also want that the game to have is the ability to share your save data and transfer it onto whatever version you want to put it in, from the 3DS to Wii U to 3DS. Just like Monster Hunters 3. Just better, because I don't want to have to buy buy the Wii U version and having to unlock all the characters right away. I want to be able to transfer my data from the 3DS to the Wii U and not having to do it. I know there's people out there that don't really care and they will do it all over again. That's not me. Once the job is done, it's done. I don't want to have to redo it all over again. And the next thing I want to see is the same thing that PlayStation All-Star has, is the ability to connect your PlayStation Vita to the 3DS, to the PlayStation Vita to the PlayStation 3, and be able to play like that. Use your PlayStation Vita as your controller, or your controller, your TV screen. But make that idea and make it better through Wi-Fi. Because I go to laundromats, and the laundromat that I go to has Wi-Fi, or I travel. Well, I don't travel a lot. There are people who travel a lot and want to be able to play with other people. So just access the internet and find out that your friends are playing on 3DS or the Wii U, and be able to connect like that. Making it pretty awesome, and even better. It makes it a better reason to buy the game. The next thing that I really do wish they do, and that is what else do they want? I want them to do. Oh, it's to come out with a Super Smash Brothers 4 or Universe, whatever they want to call it, bundle pack. I mean, for both Wii U and the 3DS, there's a modified 3DS cover where it says Smash Brothers series or whatever they want to call it with the game. If you get the Wii U, or you get all four thing, both games, the 3DS and the Wii U together. That's a huge big bundle pack. That'd be pretty awesome, but it may not happen. Now that I got that out of the way, I want to talk about the online connection. What I think the game should have and what it needs in order to be a lot more successful than Brawl, and because Brawl was a good game, it just wasn't that good because the internet connection wasn't the best one, and a lot of Wii games weren't that good on their internet connection, and it really pissed me off. I know it pissed off a lot of people, and it's sad because the DS had a much better internet connection, and that's really sad when your handheld versions do much better than your home versions, than the home console. The first thing I want to see in the online mode is different private lobbies or different lobbies that you can play with besides having the traditional one-on-one free-for-all or team battles. Battles, team deathmatch, I think they call them. And I'm taking the idea of Mario Kart 7 because Mario Kart 7 for 3DS has the ability to play, jumping in different lobbies with different sort of rules. And the reason I say this is because I'm tired of playing in Final Destination with no items on. I know the game is fun and it's the competitive side of the franchise of the game, but after a while it gets kind of boring not having to play in a different level. It gets boring playing the same Final Destination over and over and with no items because there are people out there who are not the best players in the world and they do need help playing the game. They do need help at least winning the match or surviving for a while. Because if you're if you're very good in the game, then you don't need the items. You don't have to worry about certain items. You just avoid them. But there are people out there that are not that good in the game and they do need help, and that's where the items will come along. But that just, like I said, that's just my opinion. I might be wrong. There might not be no one who needs items. But I would definitely like to enter a different lobby that doesn't have Final Destination with no items on it, or playing in that form of style. The next thing I want to see in the online mode is make it easier to register your friends or anybody that you see. Make it easier to register them in your list, so that way you know exactly when they're on and when they're not. Just like the 3DS, or I know the Wii U does something like that. I really don't know. I know the Wii U has the ability of connecting with friends or the community, whatever they do, to let people know exactly what games they're playing. I really don't have very much experience with the Wii U, so you guys can let me know how their connection is and how the community is, how you can connect to your friends or add new friends. So now that we got that out of the way, the main reason I want to talk about the internet connection is because DLC, downloadable content. And if Brawl had downloadable content, then the game would have been a lot more fun and would have lasted longer than what it usually did. Because most fighting games or most video games usually last about a year, and after a year they die out. Or they begin to die out. unless you put in some downloadable content. Some downloadable, you put in some downloadable content, and for Nintendo to do downloadable content, it's unique because they don't have to add a lot of characters into the roster or other things into the roster. You don't have to add color, color costumes or new alternate costumes or new stages or music or characters. It can be little things like patches. Like if the game has some glitches, they can fix that. They can make the roster balance out the roster, so that way certain characters who suck don't suck as bad as they usually do, and characters that are too powerful get nerfed down a little bit to make it a playing field, make it a complete playing field. And do you guys have anything else you want to add into why you believe Nintendo would, DLC would be amazing for? Let me know. Let me know why you guys think DLC will make the game a lot more better. Another thing that I want to see in the online mode is the ability to share your stages with the world. Customizable stages, because you do share them with your friends, but I would like the idea to share with everybody else. Nintendo is all about sharing and caring, so that's one idea they should do. But at the same time, I could understand why Nintendo's not gonna do it, and it's because people that design the stages make it too hard or too difficult, or just make it specifically for make it specifically for one character. And as you know, I made a lot of customizable stages that are designed to eliminate certain smash in the game, and truly give the advantage to certain characters. Like I made an ice stage that just benefits a lot of heavy characters, and all the characters that are just quick and fast, like Pikachu, Fox, and I forget Sheik, and someone else has a huge disadvantage in that level. So that probably would be the only reason why Nintendo may not want to do it. But it would be nice. It would be very, very nice. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, the last thing I want to talk about is the characters, the roster. I don't care exactly who's involved in the game. I don't care who you want, and I really don't care who you don't want. But some of these lists of characters, it's pretty outrageous. And the reason why, because I have seen a list where people want Nathan Drake, Kratos, Master Chief, who else? I forget who else they want in the game. And that's an insult. To be having your rival mascot in your own game, that's an insult. Like that's a slap in the face. And a lot of you guys that agree with me, thank you. A lot of you guys that don't agree and think that I'm just being a jerk about it, or I'm just being butthurt, that's your opinion. But the reason I say that, and it's because why are you going to add your rival mascot into your own game? And you hate them, they're your rivals. Why are you gonna do that? That's a slap in the face. That's an insult to a lot. That's an insult to Nintendo. That's an insult to Nintendo. What they stand for and all their fans. It would be nice to break that forced barrier wall. So now Microsoft can come out with the next Legend of Zelda game, and Sony comes out with the next Metroid games, and Mario comes out with the next God of War game. It'd be fun to see that happen and to see the possibilities of it, but at the same time, it's like, how can I say it? It's one of those games are just gonna end up being dead by their rivals. Nintendo ever get their hands on God of War, trust me, they're gonna kill the God of War series, because they're gonna make it, make it friendly. Forget the violence and all this. Instead of shooting out blood, they're gonna shoot orange orange liquid. You know, if Microsoft got their hands on them, they're going to sell that. They'd probably make a pretty good job of it. But at the same time, they just might want to be dicks about it and kill the series. So this is why you should never ever, uh, should never make a list of top 10 wanted characters to have Nintendo rivals in the list, unless I see any of these third-party rivalries characters, your rival mascot, to be on a Nintendo platform. Then I do want to see them in the game. But otherwise, that's not gonna happen. It's really not gonna happen, and people need to stop wishing to see Nathan Drake, God of Wars, Kratos, or any other Sony's mascots or Microsoft's mascot in Smash Bros. Series. You know, I understand it opens the door for more third-party characters, but come on, putting your rival mascots in your own game, that's an insult. That's a complete insult. But there are some good things that I want to see in the roster, and that is Mega Man. Hopefully Earthworm Jim, Rayman, Banjo-Kazooie would be awesome to see. Maybe some Final Fantasy characters if Square Enix decides to go with the idea and let us take one of the characters. I know people have been asking for Gizmo from Mario's and the 7 Legend Stars or something like that. Mario RPG. They were saying that they want Gizmo in there because Gizmo's part of Square Enix now. I really don't know I've seen him, and I really don't know what he's capable of doing. But if people want him in their game, Nintendo and Square Enix should come up with some kind of agreements. So the next character that I want to see is Pac-Man, and maybe Jim from Tekken. I don't know who Namco wants to have represent, because they do have a hand in the game. So they are working part in the game, so they might actually get 2 slots instead of 1. And this is where a lot of you guys want certain characters to be in there, and this is where DLC comes along, and this is where DLC comes along and opens the door for those other characters that never got in to actually have a 50-50 chance of getting in the game. And the reason why I want this DLC to work because a lot of these top 10 characters make sense and should have a high hopes of being in, but you never know what Nintendo might do. So they might cross them out, and with possible DLC, give them another chance of being in, another 50-50 chance of being in the game. And with the DLC being on the next Smash Bros. Series, Nintendo can release these characters every month, or every 2 months, or every 6 months after the game being released, or the first one could be 6 months after the game be released, or every year they release a new 2 or 3 new characters, to the point where they have a perfect roster. Because if they do it every 2 months or every other year or something like that, however Nintendo wants to do it, then the roster's gonna get too ridiculous. And let's face it, we all know the Smash Bros. Series don't come out every year. But now that I got out of my chest, there's nothing else to talk about. I'm completely done. I will give you my top 5 Smash Bros. Characters that I do want to see, and that is Mega Man, Earthworm Jim, Rayman, and Little Mac. Those are the characters that I want to see in the game. And if they don't come out when the game comes, they're not in the roster when the game comes out. I hope they come out as possible DLC characters. But we never know, and we just have to wait for Nintendo to give us more information. At least give us a trailer or pictures or something. And anything you guys want to add into the comments, into the list of what the game should have, or the characters they need to have, or anything that I mentioned or said, let me know in the comments below. We'll do a video response. And thank you for listening to the first episode of Game Talk. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think. And there will be more videos to come. A lot more videos to come. So, thank you. Comment, like, subscribe. And I appreciate what you guys have. I appreciate for listening to the show. So, thank you. And see you guys next time.